It's Reusse Unchained, presented by Josh Arnold, investment consultant, Mr. Money Talk. And Pat, I know you are deeply entrenched in Kirk Cousins Watch 2024. The latest
Get him
report.
the hell out of here. I'm sick of him. I don't want him. Get rid of him. Take any one of those 5, 6 guys that are there. I'll still take Michael Penix in the second round over him. I'm sick of him. I'm sick of the whole act. It's all BS. He's high mediocre. He's not a $50 million a year player. Get rid of him. Let Atlanta have him. Enough is enough. You've been here 6 years? Was it 6 years? He's like the
6 years.
he's the second. He's probably had the second most starts in Viking history, hasn't he? He had more than Culpepper.
That's a great question. I'm guessing
And
Tommy Kramer rifled off a
yeah,
few more.
that's
but
right, Tommy.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Tommy.
I think you're
had
right,
more.
Phil.
Tarkington had thousands, but I'm sick of him. Go. He's how old is he? 36. Who wants
he'll
him?
be
36.
36. Yeah.
Well, then you will be happy to know that Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, reported last night that the Cousins are seriously considering moving to Atlanta.
Yes, well, they probably would move there even if they still played in Minnesota because he wants to be closer to Donald Trump. But anyway, that's another issue we shouldn't get into. So,
Well, hold on.
anyway.
On the moving, the report is really interesting because it wasn't. Florio didn't say that he's thinking about signing with the Falcons as the lead. He said he literally phrased it, I can't get into the details too much, I think. I'm paraphrasing.
Okay.
But here's what it was. He goes, we can't get into the specifics for now, but we're getting very credible indications that Cousins is seriously considering moving his family to Atlanta. So is he at like a 2 men in a truck source or a U-Haul executive that he's?
So I mean, what more hint could you? But I can't get into the details. What a phony he is, too. Come on. What's he trying to? I got information, but when it happens, then I'll be able to tell you all that I know now. So that's what that is. I just hope it's true. I hope he goes to Atlanta and we get to play him one more time, and that's good enough, right? We could get to play him. Do we play the Falcons this year?
I
That'd
believe
be
the Falcons
fun.
are on the home schedule,
Oh,
Pat.
good.
And I'm willing to bet that won't be the game in jolly old England if Kirk Cousins is a Falcon.
No,
That'll be a primetime game.
And the crowd and half the crowd will give him this tearful. Oh, he's so great. He was so great.
We'll get a video,
tribute video for sure.
He
tribute
lost
video.
to the New York. He took a 13-4 team and lost to the New York Giants. That's what he did. Hey, it's 4th and 10. Let me throw this pass 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage and see if it works or not. What a fraud.
Pat, what advice would you have for Falcons fans who are excitedly looking for their next franchise quarterback to get them to the next level?
Stay in the NFC South where anything is possible. If he can, he'll get you 9-8, which might be good enough to win that division, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can get you, but I just don't know what they're up to that they think they're this good. They haven't been good for 5 years. They have a couple of decent skills position players, but what
they got weapons. They got weapons. They got some offensive linemen. Yeah.
Why do they think they're any good? They're not good. What do they want him for?
Don't talk him out of it, Reusse. You're trying to get him gone. Don't talk him out of it.
Take one of the young guys and build something, you dummies. That coach they had, of course, they could probably blame it on him because he was a dummy. But Arthur Smith, the son of FedEx, was he was a goofball too. But I just don't understand what they think they're accomplishing by spending all this money. Who wants a $50 million quarterback? And when you can, unless he's great, because you can get these young guys and then you can have other players to go with them. It's the dangest system of all time.
I think if you go through some, you go through your Desmond Ritter post-traumatic stress syndrome, then you just want a vet. Or if your owner is old enough and has been like Arthur Blank fits the profile of he's owned that team for 25 years. He just wants to see he's in his 80s. He's getting old. He doesn't have time for JJ McCarthy to develop anymore. So go get Kirk Cousins, right?
Arthur, you had your Super Bowl and they blew it in the second half. That was it. You won. You had your win, and then they blew it in the second half. That's as close as you're getting, Arthur. Don't worry. What's Arthur's company? Is he was
Home Depot, right?
Home
Was it?
Depot? Yeah, I think so.
I think
That's
he's
what
the
it
Home
was.
Depot guy.
Wow, that's pretty
But
impressive.
he,
Rich.
I don't know. I hope they take him off our hands and let's go somewhere else. The Vikings crowd thinks they want Kirk back. A lot of people do, but whoever they end up with, McCarthy, the kid from LSU, they're going to be excited as can be when they get him, in training camp next year. So
You know what? We don't generally like to tell people how to be fans here, but I might have to make a rule that if you peddled fear mongering for, you better be careful what you wish for if you want Kirk Cousins out of here. If you're one of those fans, then you don't get to cheer for the new quarterback that becomes a Pro Bowler in 2 years.
That's right.
You fear mongers.
Boy, it is. We were talking about this the other day, though, maybe yesterday, that how the narrative changes on quarterbacks every time one of the 250 NFL experts on social media comes on and says, I'm hearing that McCarthy Daniels is falling out of the top three and McCarthy's moving. That's not. Then all of a sudden that becomes the narrative for 48 hours and then somebody else denies it. And I'll take the kid from LSU in a minute if they get over Kirk Cousins. That's for sure.
You're right about the narratives though, because like Michael Penix is another one where the guy's had about 17 career-ending injuries. He keeps coming back. He's got bionic knees now, and his representatives brilliantly put out at the end of the combine week, "Hey, the medicals looked great on Michael Penix, right?"
Yes, they did, and he's throwing the ball. He does throw a fantastic ball. It's just
He does.
Too bad in the national championship game he chose to play the worst game in history. He was awful, and that's because his team was not nearly as good as Michigan. But and McCarthy looked great. Well, McCarthy was playing with 3 times as good a team as Penix was, so that probably had something to do with it, right? He had a defense that was fantastic. So.
But this is the genius. This is the genius of this league. Like, if you think about it, the Super Bowl gets done, you go to the combine, and in the combine, everything changes.
Oh yeah. It is the radio row at the combine. That's you guys told me that one. I can't. There's a radio row at the. There's sports talk radio doesn't even exist anymore in its former form, and we still have Radio Row.
Well, yeah, Radio Row has become like live YouTube shows and podcasts and everything. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
TV shows. It's pretty much everything.
Is it over yet, by the way? Have we done with the combine? I
think it ended yesterday. I think we got done with the final cornerbacks or some position group sticks around. Once the quarterbacks are done,
I did not sit down in front of the TV and watch guys run sprints. I did not do that for several hours, but you'd be surprised to learn that. I did not.
The 3-cone drill is my personal favorite. It shows true agility in a small space.
How about a little pub here for our guy Ant? I want to talk about Ant. Now, Sunday night, there's 13 seconds to go. He has the ball for 8 seconds after 2 other guys had the ball, and he doesn't realize time's a wasting, right? So he makes the layup with 3 seconds to go. Last night, he forgot time and missed tip-off. He wasn't out there for tip-off. What's wrong with this goofball? Maybe it's because he's a new dad. I don't know, but there's something wrong with him.
That's exactly right, Pat. That's what I'm afraid of.
It's new dad, distraction. But also, I want to give credit to our guy, John Krasinski from The Athletic, with one of the great pieces of sports journalism in American history. He asked Anthony Edwards, was it a number 2 situation, an emergency number 2 situation before tip-off? And he confirmed he did not have to use the bathroom going number 2. He did not pull a Paul Pierce.
Okay, so that's really getting nitty gritty there, isn't it? He does some of his individual exercises beforehand, right? And he said he lost
Yes.
track of time. Oh man, what a knothead! He's we love him, but he's crazy.
He's
He's
probably up
goofy.
late changing diapers. This is what I talk about
Oh
you guys
yeah,
all the
I'm
time. You
sure.
laugh at me. Kids are distractions.
I want to know where the baby was delivered. Is it in the Twin Cities, or was he watching it on Zoom, or what the hell's going on? I don't. I
Send,
know.
send Krasinski
We
back to him. Have him
the
ask.
has the Athletic reported the baby or not? Because
Yeah,
the newspapers, have they reported the baby yet? I don't know.
I
that I
think
don't know,
so.
but John did.
I think
It's too
so.
bad Chris Thomason's not on the Wolves beat. Chris Thomason would be going through
Oh
hospital
God, yes,
records and finding
yes,
every
Okay.
yes.
He'd be in
every
the
possible
delivery room.
place. You know,
He'd be calling every pediatrician in town to see if they delivered the baby or not and where it was.
Thomason right now on the Cousin story would be the great. He would be parked like Jim Rockford across the street from Cousin's house with a pair of binoculars,
Yes.
spying at to find. I mean, it would be great.
How long has Cousins lived among us? Do we know? How long has he been in town here? Because
He's
I mean, his home when he obviously got traded here was somewhere else, right? So
Oh, I
I
think they
thought he
bought
did.
they bought pretty quickly that first year.
I just thought he had an off-season home here. I didn't know it was the full-time home here. So,
No,
it's
I
not the
think.
full time home because he's got a place in Michigan too.
oh, okay, all right.
By the
But
way, I looked it
anyway,
up. He has played the third most games of any quarterback in Vikings history, behind
Kramer's
Frank
second.
Tarkenton and Tommy Kramer. And a lot of people would say that he is the second best quarterback in Vikings history.
Yeah, well, who'd say that? Who'd say that? Dante at his best was better than this guy, right? Dante
Mm-hmm.
until his last
that's
season
the
was awful. His last season, but Dante was better than this guy. Yeah. So now Dante did have Randy Moss that helped, but
Well, but
Dante
you could argue though.
Dante was better than this guy.
But
Okay,
Kirk
Dante
has
was,
had prime Stephon Diggs, prime Adam Thielen, and
yes.
prime Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
Well, that's when Dante came running out of the pocket. People ran for their lives, unlike with this slow moving, overrated guy. I don't want him. Get rid of him. Enough. Enough.
I would have
Just 'cause
thought
he
by
won,
now that Pat
just
would have
because
gone contrarian on this. I'm surprised that you haven't made a turn on this yet.
just because he's just because he's a non-vaxxer doesn't make him a great quarterback like all the that's when he became popular, when he wouldn't take a vaccination. That's
The
it's
Netflix
political.
special helped a lot, Pat. The
Oh
Netflix
yeah,
thing I
well
think
that's true.
really turned people
I didn't watch
to
it, but
him.
I guess it did. Yeah, they found out
He
what a
starred
really
in it.
nice guy is. Yeah, he was, and you know what? That Netflix thing also showed him really how to be manipulative, didn't it? As far as with the the public appearances and stuff like that. It's I think it changed his it upgraded his PR act a lot, don't you think?
Oh,
Afterwards,
I mean, he
Yeah.
has. I would
Yes.
say everything from the Netflix series, even all the way through the Achilles, the dancing on stage at the NFL season end awards, and the video on social media of him throwing passes. And I don't think he's a different person behind the scenes. But he's very calculated in terms of, hey, it's a contract year. Let's be sure we're putting out content that leads me to a $45 million bag of cash at the end.
yes. Let me the whole deal with me is because Favre was able to have a great year at almost 40, and Rodgers was the MVP at 38, and some of these guys, and then Brady was timeless. These That doesn't mean 36-year-old quarterbacks are going to be what they used to be. It's not. I've said this before. He's 36 years old. He's going to get worse. He's not going to get better at 36, no matter what good a shape he keeps himself in. 98% of all quarterbacks have gotten worse in their mid 30s. They haven't gotten better. So I don't know why everybody's so excited about this. He's 36. You've seen his best he's got to offer already, and it wasn't good enough.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, yeah.
well said. Well said.
And you know what the thing too is? You can only pay him so much. Like
Yes.
that's the thing. If this comes down to guarantees and the Vikings say No thanks. Good for them.
And what was O'Connell's thing a couple days ago at the end of the combine? He was suggesting tampering was taking place. That
Yeah.
Saturday.
it's
Yeah.
it's open tampering at the
Combine.
combine, basically
Which
open
it has
tampering.
been for years, for
Yes,
decades.
plus if the media is all around, and if you're Atlanta, all you got to do is get the media out that hey, we want him and we'll pay him max. Just leak that to somebody, and that becomes the story. So
Well, and Kirk too. Like
yeah.
this whole thing about Kirk Cousins is seriously considering. Sat down last night and came up with some pros and cons, and now he's going to move. That's all from Cousins.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You better be careful, Vikings. We might really do it. No, we're gonna do it.
We're on Zillow right now. Look at us, we're on Zillow.
Yeah, he's. I hope they've decided to keep this idea. Oh, JJ likes Cousins. Well, of course he likes Cousins better than Dobbs, but better than the other guys. But if you get him a decent thrower, he doesn't care who it is. Pay him and forget about Cousins. Come on, leave us alone. Go away, Kirk. Go to Atlanta.
leave us alone.
Oh, yeah, we don't
Stop
have to
talking to us. Don't answer our calls.
Yeah. Anyway, it's what a drama though. It's incredible.
Yeah, it'll probably all be over like Monday or Tuesday, don't you think? He's not gonna.
This is when does the legalized tampering start?
Monday.
Tuesday?
11 a.m. Monday.
But they can't announce a deal till when?
Well, they can't sign it till Wednesday, but it will leak out almost as soon as it's done on Monday.
Okay.
So we'll know.
Okay. Go get them on Purple Daily, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be on top of this all the way.
We should have Pat guest host Purple Daily for a week next week and just watch his head explode all
Just
over.
scream at the Kirk lovers. Oh, we can't. They're our loyal listeners. We can't call them morons publicly.
Well, it's gonna be, and I don't know at this point. Maybe there's still a % chance they bring him back, but I think everybody's going to feel refreshed when they finally decide, okay,
yes,
we're gonna draft somebody. Maybe it's a Christian Ponder, but at least for the first 12 months, there's all hope.
No, there's not a Christian Ponder among the top 5. They're all way better than Christian Ponder.
I agree.
You're not going to get a Christian Ponder. Even if you get Bo Nix, you're not getting a Christian Ponder. Nobody's, we're not going to repeat that one. That was the greatest desperate act ever. I mean, Trent Dilfer told us 20 minutes later that it was a bad pick, right?
That's right.
That he didn't have it. So
he called that completely too.
It was a great call by Dilfer. Yeah.
Yes, he was great, man. I loved him on the radio. He would all you'd have to say is hi, Trent, and he told you something you didn't know for the next 15 minutes. It was great.
Yeah, man. There's some great guests. Trent Dilfer. Well, Darren Sharper was a great guest, and he all of a sudden one Friday morning he didn't answer his phone.
Yeah,
You're wondering, where's Sharp? What happened to Sharp?
You don't think where he is now? Would they let him be a guest?
I've always said the podcast would be called One Call a Week with Darren Sharper.
Yeah, we probably should be laughing about it, but it is of all the highlights of the full-time radio career, having that guy as hey boy, Sharp was good again today, wasn't he? I wonder, he was in that hotel room in L.A.
Yes, there seemed to be some chatter in the background.
I don't know what's going on. Unbelievable. What a highlight. What a highlight.
Well, there's your Kirk Watch 2024, okay. Pat. We'll keep you posted here in the next 24 hours.
Stay tuned to Purple Daily, Pat.
If you're a Kirk guy, you and I are enemies, okay? Not in the sports world. We're sports world enemies if you want to bring Kirk back, okay? You're dummies, okay?
There it is.
That's it. Come on. The idea here is to get back to a Super Bowl and lose one for the thumb. That's what you want to do here. That's our goal.
For the thumb.
One for the thumb. And it's been a long time, and Kirk's not getting you there. You got to keep what you got and get a new quarterback in here. And 3 years from now, you can get one for the thumb. Okay.
That's the goal. I like it. That's the new. We'll print the shirts. We'll get it going. We'll get the trademark.
Okay.
All right, Pat.
All right.
Thanks,
Okay.
Pat.
See ya.
We'll talk
Goodbye.
to you later this week. There he is, Reusse Unchained here on Score North.